except where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
This is why I train in martial arts.
The only video on my channel getting real traction at this point is anything having to do with Emily Rand. This is from the update on Emily Rand video. I'm just going to have to keep talking about that topic because people keep bringing it up. And without revealing too much, I got pulled into something that could have ended up being an Emily Rand situation. I literally got pulled into it. I literally was sitting there when it happened, and it literally fell into me. And that's the only reason why I got mixed up in it. But someone named Round Robin came to my channel and left some decent comments, and I think that these comments need to be highlighted. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm calling this video One Thing That Women Don't Know. And basically the one thing that women don't know is that a man can put you in a coma with just one hit. I know a lot of you don't like to accept it. You probably think I'm putting you down, or you think I'm overreacting, or you think I'm being soft. Look at the links. Look at the links I'm going to put below this video. And just research this topic and you'll find out. If a man just hits you one good time, you can end up in a coma. You can end up dying. It happens when men hit each other. So what makes you think it's not going to happen if he hits you, ladies? So that's why you should keep your hands to yourself, ladies and fellas. And I usually use these videos to link to a playlist I have of self-defense techniques that men can use against women so that they can defend themselves against women, still feel like a man, and not killing her. Okay? It's stuff I've used myself. That's all I'll say without embarrassing anyone. It's stuff I've had to do over the years, and no, don't think it's just his wife trying to hit him. Nah, it's been people outside the marriage trying to throw hands too. Because we live in a world that makes some people think that they can just throw hands and nobody's going to do anything back about it. I'm not saying it's correct, but you shouldn't think that just because I'm nice that you can try to punch me in the face. Because you're going to find out. Let me tell you something before I get to this. I feel like I have to say this. No matter how nice I am, and I am a nice person, but no matter how nice I am, that doesn't mean that I won't kick you in the head. Just because I won't immediately kick you in the head doesn't mean that I'm incapable of kicking you in the head. Just because it is the last thing I'll do, just because I have literally let people hit me before and I didn't kick them in the head, doesn't mean that I can't and won't do it. And it doesn't mean that because I look at it like this. If I have to kick you in the head, you deserve it. And I know you do. Because I have a very high threshold. A very high threshold for ridiculousness. So if I have to resort to violence, if I resorted to violence, other people would have tried to kill you hours ago. Okay? It's, it's the truth. And some of you ladies, you keep poking these guys, and you don't know that a man can stop you. Now, I'm going to tell this story. This is going to be a long video. I apologize. A woman told me one time, I could have sworn I've said this on this channel. I've definitely said it offline. She said when she was young, she was drinking with her boyfriend. She got up in his face, and she used to buck up in his face like that all the time, and he kept pushing him in the face, and he never did anything, right? So one time they were drinking, and she got aggressive, bucked up in his face. What's she gonna do? She pushed him in his face, and they were drinking 40s, so she was like hanging with the dudes, drinking 40s, like, dudes was drinking 40s back in the day. I guess they do it. I haven't drank a 40 in literally decades, because I'm old. I don't know. And so, what did he do? She said he hit her one time, knocked her horizontal, took his Timberlands, and stomped her in the face. And she said that's why she has a flat nose. So if you want to get Timberland stomped by a dude and knocked out with one hit, keep doing what you're doing. Ladies who like to hit people. Now that I've gotten that out the way, let's get to the round robin discussion. So shout yourself out, round robin. All right, round robin wrote, white knights and toxic feminists fail to realize that when a woman hits a man once and he does not defend himself, the woman feels even more entitled. She continues hitting him and harder each time. I guarantee if you watch 50 videos of women hitting men and the men showing restraint, you will see that I am 100% right. When a woman sees there are no consequences, she will continue to do it. Just like children. If you let them run wild unchecked, they grow up entitled to even criminals. It's really this simple. If you hit a man or anyone, their reaction is out of your hands. And that's something I can't stress enough. You cannot control how somebody else is going to react. I am a parent. I have raised 2 children to adulthood. I cannot control what they're going to do. I know them well enough to, if I hear of something that they've done, even if it's something negative, I know if it's them or not. I know if somebody's lying. But I cannot control their reaction. You cannot control the reaction of another person. So you should not hit people unless you have to. Especially if you're a woman. Especially if you're a very small woman. I'm doing that because I'm talking to somebody. You cannot hit people because if he hits your ass once, you're going into a coma. And like I said in the I'm Not Your Attack Dog video, don't think because Mr. Cecil's standing there that Mr. Cecil can protect you. The best I could do is beat the person up that puts you in a coma. But you're going to be in a coma, so you're not going to know anyway that he got beat up until you're out of your coma. But what if I say, I ain't beating him up because you earned that one, player? Then what you going to do? You're going to come out of coma, you might not even remember your name. Now, I wrote back to round robin. Now, this is something I agree with you on, which is why I tend to try to stop things like that before it escalates. Because if a man hits her one good time, she can end up in a coma. I just said that. Round robin said, that's right. Society needs to stop this inequality and bias against men. Society and the media are telling women it's okay when a man is assaulted physically or even sexually by a woman. Men who report domestic violence, sexual assault, etc. are bashed and labeled as weak by society. But when they, this got cut off. I guess he wanted to say, but when they, I don't know. By the way, this is something else from Round Robin. This is also why when a woman is hitting a man and he strikes back, you see that look of utter shock on her face, usually followed by a loud, he hit a woman. Face it, they just do not ever expect consequences for their actions. Women have mastered the art of crying. They cry when they are happy, sad. Now, I won't put that on all women, but I would definitely put that on some women because there are some people who are manipulators and they cause the chaos, then they're going to turn around and cry, and then people who, like me, who can be suckers at times, will go, "Oh my God." I was gonna go politically incorrect. I caught myself because I do need to think about that. Oh my goodness, someone is in tears. I'll just say that. Putting an S on the chest, but even worse than that one. But yeah, And I wrote back, I think they are shocked because they honestly don't know just how severe the difference is until they actually feel the pain and the blood is running down their face. Because just like I tell people, it's all fun and games until somebody's bleeding. It's all fun and games until somebody's bleeding, somebody's in convulsions, and then there's the, oh my God, I didn't know, oh my God. Unless you just don't care, you're a psychopath and you're not going to feel bad if you put a woman in a coma. But I remember I heard the pain in that guy's voice of the dude that put Emily Rand in that coma. And he didn't sound like he was totally cool with it. So what makes you think that you'll be totally cool with it? Unless you're a psychopath. Are you? I mean, so let's get down to brass tacks. So are you a psychopath? Are you a psychopath? I think some of you guys, I think you probably are psychopaths. And I think some of the women are psychopaths. And then people try to jump around and hide when they've escalated things too far. And then they try to hide behind their, oh, I'm a woman, or oh, I'm not a violent thing. That's one thing I used to hate about some people when I was young. They swore that they were so intelligent that they never needed to use violence or understand violence. And they would just be prey for people who weren't allowed to, who weren't afraid of using violence. But then you got this other breed of people who assume that because they're in a polite area where people are supposed to be polite, they think they can be passive aggressive or even low level aggressive towards people. And because I'm not allowed to kick you in your throat for the way you're even looking at me and the negative energy that you're throwing at me, because I'm not allowed to be like, what's up towards you, you think that you can keep pushing the line and pushing the line. So you keep pushing the line, and then sometimes what they'll do is when you actually try to cross over into physical territory, you're expecting me to back down, and I don't. And then you don't have enough sense to stop right there. Then you have to escalate because you've already jumped things into the water. We could get out of the pool at this point. We could stay in the shallow water and I'll let you walk out. I'm good. I'll let you walk out of shallow water. But no, these type of people I'm talking about, they're so arrogant. They want to try to drag me into the deep end. And I'm not going to drown because I'm an expert swimmer. Just because I don't walk around and stick my chest out, you would think that having like this YouTube channel, being paid part-time by a county organization to teach the martial arts, more than one, being certified in a martial arts system, you would think that would be enough for some of these people to know that I will knock your teeth out. But it's not. And you know why? Because there's some people, if you don't act quote unquote hard, they don't respect you. And these are not just quote unquote hood people. These are quote unquote good people. You know, wear a shirt and tie to work today, from the middle class. Because see, the thing is, what's really funny is that hood people can pick that up about me, and you know how they act? A lot of hood people, unless they're just negative, period, they're just a negative person, they treat me better than people who you would think would treat me okay. They act because I think it's because they know they come from an environment where there are physical consequences to whatever you do that is disrespectful. If you disrespect someone physically, they know you can get hit back. And it's perfectly fine, and nobody bats an eye or loses sleep. But some of you people, and Mark McYoung said in one of his books that it tends to be women from the middle class. I want to put it like that. I think he said white women, but I'm not going to go there. But he's talking about he's talking about like the beyond the middle class bubble, okay? And in the United States, that's usually people of that persuasion. But people who, they want to be in the middle class bubble and they want to like, yeah, I can posture in this middle class bubble, or I can posture in the workplace because we're in this bubble where violence is not acceptable. And this guy, this Cecil guy, I don't care if he does karate. They always think it's karate. He's not going through anything because we're in the bubble. But your bubble is going to get burst. And believe me, if I have to burst your bubble, I know that I'm probably in the right because I'm not the type of person that tries to start anything. I am not someone who I do not like conflict. I do not like violence. But that doesn't mean that I haven't learned how to handle violence because there are bullies in the world. I might as well enlarge. Oh, I can't now. Anyway, because there are bullies in this world who like to play tough and passive aggressive. They like to throw out aggression and negative energy in the middle class and corporate bubble. I see you. I know you doing it. I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide because I should let it slide, quite frankly. Because I should let it slide because it's not going into the physical. I should let it slide. I'm supposed to let it slide. It's called being a professional. It's called being polite. It's called being civilized. But there are people who just, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like you can't stand civilization. We have all this wonderful stuff in this world these days. We got the internet, we got all this other stuff, and some of you people just still want to act like it's Game of Thrones up in here. You still want to be medieval. Why? This is the best we've ever had it in human history. Act like a grown-up. And that's why one thing that women don't know is that there are, especially in America, you don't know how good you got it. There are countries and cultures, and I'm not going to call them out. Research it. I believe it is okay for them. If I'm not mistaken, I think they can take off their shoe and smack you in the face with it, woman, and there's nothing you can do about it. At least in the United States, if a man hits a woman and knocks her out, he stands a good chance of being knocked out himself. Immediately. By another guy. At least that could possibly happen. Not going to answer that right now. But there are subcultures in the United States, and there are other cultures in the world that are macro cultures, but they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna care if some dude knocks your teeth out. They're not gonna care. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's how it is. No, I don't think that's right. But if you're gonna go around hitting men, what do you think's gonna happen to you? You eventually gonna run into a dude who's just not gonna be able to control himself. You're not gonna be able to control him, and you're gonna end up in a coma, or you're gonna end up dead. And if you don't believe me, look at my Emily Rand videos. That's what happened to her. And just look at this topic and find out what actually happens when a woman actually fights a man and a man does not hold back. And the thing is, just to bring it home to my channel and to my class and my own selfishness. Yes, if you would train with me, you could actually learn how to go toe-to-toe with some guys. I would say he'd have to be not as well trained as you, and you may be able to defend yourself against him. But of course, the best way to handle a fight with a man, if you're a woman, is to not get in a fight with him in the first place. And if he seems like he's violent and like he might hit you, or if he does hit you, even if it's ha ha ha, I'm playing, leave him alone. You do not associate with people who hit you. Period. It's not a joke. They're probing to see what they can get away with, in my opinion. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. And before you get to feeling guilty if you're watching this, I'm not just talking to one person on this one either. Unfortunately, I'm not. Peace.